the Haven tent, combining the best of tent and hammock into one amazing sleeping experience? Yeah, that claim might actually be true. Yes, that's right, we're reviewing another lay-flat hammock camping system, because why not? And frankly, because these innovative new designs just seem to be popping up everywhere, and one of the more unique ones we've discovered is the Haven tent, which is set out to make sleep the highlight of camping. How? Let's break it down. First of all, this isn't your typical hammock, and it's obviously not a traditional tent. It's a super comfy sleep setup that brings the comforts of home into the outdoors. How? Well, it starts with a super cush inflatable pad in either an ultralight version or insulated. We tried the insulated because, well, you know, it was cold outside when we tested it. The pads are a luxurious 4 inches thick, which make for a super comfy sleeping surface. And you can even add on a neoprene pad cover for extra warmth. Of course, you can also opt to get the hammock without a pad, but if you're gonna do that, I mean, you might as well just get a regular hammock. But moving on. As you can see, it hangs from 2 trees using 2 straps, much like a regular hammock system, but it's rectangular instead of whatever shape a hammock is. But how does it lay flat? Well, probably because of some kind of product design voodoo, but also because of the 2 spacer bars, one on each end of the hammock, that keep the whole thing open and structured. On top of that, it also has a removable bug net and comes with a rain fly to keep you safe from inclement weather. And you can even convert it to a ground pitch if you happen to be camping where there aren't any trees. Here's how you set it up. Find yourself 2 healthy, strong trees to hang from. At least 15 inches in diameter is ideal. Then wrap the straps around the trees at about head height. Keep in mind, for the Haven, unlike with a conventional hammock, you'll want the strap on the side your head will be on to be a bit higher. Clip the end in so the ridgeline is nice and taut, then insert the spreader bars and inflate, not overinflate, the sleep pad and tuck it into the 4 corners. Now that you have it set up, time to get in. Just like in a conventional hammock, there are a few tricks to lay comfortably. In a regular hammock, you want to lay diagonally to get as flat as possible. In the Haven, however, all you have to do is make sure your butt, generally the heavy center of your body, is right smack bang in the middle. Move too far up or down and your head and feet are going to sag. Voila, a lay-flat hammock setup ready to offer a good night's sleep. So does it offer a good night's sleep, I mean? Yeah, it actually does, surprisingly so. Personally, I love camping in a regular hammock because I find it's more comfortable than sleeping in a tent on the ground, and haven't ever been one to feel the need for a lay-flat hammock. But you know what? This one is actually comfy. I did lay very close to completely flat, enjoyed the very plush inflatable pad, and stayed cozy all night long in cooler temps. I even got to watch some armadillos run around outside in the middle of the night while camping in Texas. They're very loud foragers. Yeah. Anyway, I also really appreciated the oversized pockets on both ends of the hammock. There are 3 on each end. This lets you choose which way you'd like to point your head, sure, but they also offer plenty of storage space for phones, maps, books, headlamps, all the trash you forgot to take out of your pockets at the end of the day, etc. And I felt very protected from the elements in this thing. Wind, water, cold. I was feeling pretty cozy inside. So was all of my stuff. Yeah, I prefer to clip my gear like backpacks and shoes and such outside my tent or hammock, but the sturdy ridgeline is actually designed to hold all that stuff inside your tent. That is, if it's super cold or supposed to rain or snow. You can keep everything safe and dry. And there's plenty of room for that. In fact, I quite liked how much space there was inside. Sure, I'm a relatively small person, but anyone up to 78 inches and 285 pounds can fit comfortably in there. There's plenty plenty of headroom, and you can even move around, prop yourself up, roll over. But that leads me to one issue I did have with the Haven. Because of those spreader bars that help create all that extra room and help the Haven lay flat, it's not super stable. Have you ever sat in one of those hammocks that's big and flat and rectangular, stretched taut across wooden planks at the top and bottom? You try to sit up or lay down, and it feels like you're gonna flip right out. I would have fallen out of this thing at least once or twice, because if you're trying to change or get in or out of your sleeping bag, or fish for that headlamp you drop, and your body weight isn't evenly distributed, the Haven gets very tippy. That said, once you're situated, just rolling over or shifting positions in the middle of the night didn't cause any of that. So once you're sorted, you should be good. Another issue I had with the Haven is the short straps. They're only about 6 feet long, which means if you have larger trees that you need to hang your Haven from, well, you might be out of luck. Something in the 10-foot range would be a lot more useful. But one other thing I did really love about the Haven is how easy it is to set up as a bivvy on the ground if there are no trees around. Some hammock tents require you to purchase a separate ground setup kit, but all you need for the Haven is a pair of trekking poles. And that solves the problem so many hammock campers have to contend with. What to do if there aren't any trees, say in the desert or a rocky cliff. The Haven has it sorted. So bottom line, who's the Haven for? Pretty much anyone who finds sleeping in a tent on the ground uncomfortable, but still want to lay flat and enjoy a bit more structure and space than a traditional hammock offers. Campers who want a super comfortable sleeping surface will love the Haven, though backpackers will find it a bit heavy for a one-person setup at nearly 7 pounds with the pad. And it's obviously fairly bulky too. And if you have really poor balance issues, maybe sleep on the ground. But for everyone else, it's a very comfortable, cozy sleep setup for the outdoors that feels a lot like curling up on your own bed at home, which is always a plus. Naturally, we'll put a link to the Haven below so you can check it out for yourself, and we'd love it if you went ahead and hit subscribe and rang the bell so that you don't miss any of our future gear reviews and updates. And come be our friends on social media on all the platforms. We're at Terradrift on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And for even more sustainable and outdoorsy content, head over to terradrift.com, where you can read all manner of outdoorsy destination guides, gear reviews, sustainability spotlights, and more. And as always, thanks for watching. Grab yourself a Haven, wander on. Ah! I did not tighten the straps enough. It's an important step when you are putting a hammock up to make sure that these straps are taut.